All right, you're on. You're live.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 21st, 2025 Township Council regular meeting. This is a regular meeting of the Council of the Township of Montclair. It's being broadcast live on Channel 34 and is streaming live on the Montclair TV 34 YouTube channel. It's available on demand and can and will be rebroadcast. This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. The meeting was included in the revised annual notice of the meeting scheduled as set forth in Resolution R 25-038, adopted by the Township Council at its regular meeting of February 25th, 25, advertised to the official newspaper on March 6, 2025, posted on the bulletin boards outside of the municipal building, and has remained continuously posted. In addition, a copy of the revised annual notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the Township Clerk. Roll call, Madam Clerk, please.
Deputy Mayor Anderson,
Here.
Councilor Birmingham,
Here.
Councilor D'Amato,
Here.
Councilor Harrison,
Here.
Councilor Toller.
Good evening, President.
Good evening. Councilor Williams absent. Mayor Baskerville.
Present. Good evening. Before we begin this evening's meeting, I'd like to ask that after we recite the Pledge of Allegiance, we all remain standing for a moment of silence. Let us take this time to remember those members of our Montclair family who are no longer with us, friends, neighbors, and loved ones who have touched our lives in countless ways. Mark Williams is one of those individuals. We pause to honor Montclair's own, a dedicated firefighter for our township, a beloved barber who served our community with courage, kindness, and unwavering commitment. His work, both in uniform and in his shop chair, reflected the very spirit of Montclair: service, connection, and care for others. May our moment of silence be not only one of remembrance, but also of gratitude. Gratitude for lives well lived, for sacrifices made, and for the enduring bonds that keep our community strong.
May I, for Calvin Drew as well? We can have a moment, in the same moment.
Yes.
We recognize Calvin Drew Sr. of Drew Funeral Home, Montclair, New Jersey.
Please, and if there's other names that anybody wants to call out, please do so. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to make a motion that we go into the executive session.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? The purpose of this executive session is for discussion of the attorney position for the township, litigation regarding Lackawanna Plaza, and redevelopment. We can adjourn. Yeah. Yes.
No, Madam Clerk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I got it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks. Rick? Got it, thank you. The one that we just got, the new one. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us in our October 21st, 2025 Township Council regular meeting. I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn from the executive session and return to our public meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. At this point in time, we're going to the well, at the top of the meeting, if we have identified things that we are going to pull from the agenda, we need to do that. So this evening, we're going to remove the new business ordinance A from the agenda and the consent agenda number 6. The Finance Committee needs some more time to address that. Council members, anyone else have anything that they would like to have?
I just
With-
have a question.
Yes.
If you're taking off number 6, does 5 and 7 coincide with that? No. You sure? Okay. All right, just wanted to double check.
I asked the same thing. No. Okay. D'Amato, Counselor, you're good? Okay. Okay, so we're going to go to proclamations. And this evening, we have 2 proclamations. And we'll start with the proclamation for women's, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mayor. The minutes are listed first.
I'm sorry, thank you. We've got to do the minutes, please. We have received the minutes for the September 9th, 2025 meeting and September 15th, 2025. Any corrections or additions? I make a motion to adopt the minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstained. Thank you. And I certainly would like to welcome Councilor William Harrison today. This is his first meeting joining us here, and we're very excited to have him with us. Okay, now we can move on to the proclamations, unless you'd like to say something, Councilor Harrison?
Thank you.
That is so unusual for you not to have anything to say, Counselor. Okay, all right. So at this time, we're going to read the proclamation for Women's Club of Upper Montclair 125th anniversary. Are there people here who would like to come to the podium and receive this? And any council members that want to join us? This is a wonderful celebration. They've been doing great things in service in the Township of Montclair. Thank you. Oh, I think we're good, but thank you, Rick. Okay, so Councilor D'Amato and I had a great time at a wonderful celebration. This is one of our hosts, and it was such a wonderful celebration and for an amazing cause. So we just wanted to celebrate this and let you all know about the wonderful organization, the Women's Club of Upper Montclair. Whereas the Women's Club of Upper Montclair marked 125 years with an anniversary party on October 1st, 2025 in Montclair. And the Women's Club of Upper Montclair has provided an outlet for women in Montclair and surrounding townships to meet and exchange ideas and talk about the community and provide community support for organizations. Different than other charitable organizations in the township. The anniversary is a chance to pay tribute for all of the work and accomplishments of the club's foundation and to help the club continue its mission into the future. And the Women's Club of Upper Montclair started in October 1990 as the Thursday Club. It was founded by Emma Allen Dodd and met twice a month for Montclair women who wanted to exchange ideas, present lectures, and organize community service projects. The club's mission is to bring women together for mental stimulation and for cooperation in working out the problems of the day, to consider and provide measures of social welfare and to furnish educational and other entertainment for the benefit and the organization and things for the general public. And whereas over the years, the Women's Club of Upper Montclair has supported groups such as Human Needs Food Pantry, the Montclair Emergency Services for Hope, and Tony's Kitchen. The club is a member of the Upper Montclair Business Association, which has been valuable in making business connections and conducting outreach to the prospective members. Now, therefore, the mayor and the township of the mayor and the council of the great township of Montclair do hereby recognize and congratulate the Women's Club of Upper Montclair on the momentous occasion of its 125th anniversary. And Cindy has been, you're the chairperson of it?
I'm the president.
The president of this organization for a while, and I'm so grateful for your service, Cindy.
I'm grateful for your Did you want me to say something?
Sure I do.
I wasn't prepared. I didn't bring anything to say, but I just, I'm thankful for your support. And we have been doing community service in the Township of Montclair for 125 years. And there's not many organizations that can say that, and there's not many organizations that are still around. So as I said at the meeting, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Yes. And here's to the next 125 years.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody want to do this one?
Thank you.
Anybody want to do this proclamation for the 25th anniversary of the Apricot production?
Oh, that's right.
Thank you. Oh. Our next proclamation is celebrating the 25th anniversary of Apricot Sky Productions.
All right, I'll try.
Thank you. Do we have anybody from Apricot? Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
hi.
Nice to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I am very happy and pleased to give a proclamation celebrating the 25th anniversary of Apricot Sky Productions, ASP. 2025 is a milestone year for Apricot Sky Productions, the Montclair-based community theater company. It's the 25th anniversary of playwright Eric Alter, the company director impresario, having selflessly produced and underwritten Broadway caliber plays locally at an accessible price point. And ASP's mission has always been to bring quality theater to people at low prices, especially to those physically or financially unable to travel to New York to experience fine acting and presentation. And the 25th act, this year's limited run production, featured the best of the best, the 8 greatest dramas and comedies of 25 years of Montclair's Little Broadway. And many past plays in the series have been written by an assortment of playwrights, but the 2025 short plays have all been penned by Mr. Alter, a prolific playwright. 183 plays of varying lengths. Wow. And our 21st century O. Henry. The shows will be presented in Montclair for 6 days over 2 weekends, commencing September 26th. And all playlets were written, acted, and directed by New Jerseyans. In its 25-year history, approximately 400 playwrights, actors, and directors have participated, some going on to careers in theater. Several of the annual shows have been charity benefits. Mr. Alter's plays have been published, produced, and performed around the world. And whereas the Apricot Sky Productions stage has provided a springboard for entry into TV and film for Mr. Alter and ASP, now, therefore, the mayor and council of the Township of Montclair do hereby recognize and congratulate Apricot Sky Productions on the momentous occasion of its 25th anniversary.
I didn't write that, but it's really good. So I just want to say thank you very much to the council, and the community of Montclair has always been very supportive, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to public comment. So please check your numbers, and guest number 1 can come on down.
Okay. Good evening. Ready? Good evening, Mayor Baskerville. Oh, the mic, thank you. Sound. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Baskerville, Deputy Mayor and Councilor at Large. Good evening, council members. My name is Laura Kenny. I have lived in Montclair for over 30 years. I am here tonight along with other members of our Montclair Indivisible group. Please do stand. Many of whom have been volunteering to provide support to immigrants in our town and the surrounding area. We have come out tonight to urge you to include the Immigrant Trust Act on the agenda for the November meeting. This will provide an opportunity to debate and discuss the importance of this act. As you may already know, the act prohibits state and local law enforcement from cooperation with federal immigration authorities when doing so is voluntary under federal law. It ensures that all residents can access public services without fear of deportation or family separation. Like many residents, we settled in Montclair because it is a community that values diversity, respects individuals regardless of where they come from, and believes that every person has a right to live secure in the knowledge that their families are safe and that they can live and work with dignity. We urge you to move forward on this initiative, which has already been adopted by at least 20 towns in New Jersey. Thank you for your time and consideration tonight.
Thank you very much. Next guest, please.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Matt Gewurz. I'll keep this super short just so everybody could speak tonight. So I've been a resident of Montclair for about 2 years. I rented for the first year and a half, and in the beginning of summer, I just bought my home here. And obviously, Montclair is just such a great place. Thank you. I appreciate it. And the reason I'm here tonight is because I applied for the Housing Commission for the town. And, I applied maybe 3-4 months ago and haven't heard anything. And the reason why I'm not coming at anybody in a manner of anything negative, but because I truly, I come from a working class blue collar family, and I know everything in life is earned, and I take the no response more so as a sign that if you want this, you gotta make it happen. So I'm not gonna just sit back and wait for a response. I chose to show up here tonight just to introduce myself. I don't have to volunteer for the town. I'm choosing to. I run a full-time business. I've been a real estate agent for the past 10 years. My team has done over $500 million in sales. So we're really busy, and I could just spend all day working, but instead I love to take time out of my schedule to do some good for the town that I live in. Whatever I could do to bring a fresh face to the town, create some more equal opportunities for housing, and really just we could work on that too. And just good communication amongst people. I feel like the board and people in this town could benefit from a young, fresh face, somebody energetic and a business owner, and somebody who wants to work with others to create this into, a great town. It already is, but let's make it as good as absolutely possible. So that's really the reason I'm here today. I'm going to show up at the housing meeting tomorrow also. I appreciate you all very, very much. Nice meeting you all, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Next guest, please.
Hello, my name is Maria Eva Dorigo. I'm a resident of Montclair. This is the second time that I come in support of the Immigration Trust Act, come and speak about that. I don't know if you are living, if we are living in the same planet or in the same country. I don't know if you have been watching those videos of ICE raids and arrests where ICE agents are using so much brutality and disregard of humanity when they raid, arrest, and transport human beings and even children. What I'm asking today is so small, a little courage from all of you. That's what we need in times of dictatorship, in the midst of an authoritarian regime. Just a small gesture of solidarity for those who are living in our community but are living in fear. I know you haven't experienced that type of fear, but I did. I spent the first 10 years of my life under dictatorship. I know what fear is. I know what it feels to walk next to a group of police officers or see in a Ford Falcon, the car that the military thugs use to kidnap people, with the fear of being taken away to a torture camp. That feeling never leaves your body, no matter how much time it passes. We need more people to join us and defend the most vulnerable, because I know it well. First, they come for the most vulnerable, and then they come for all of us. It is your responsibility as public officials. It is the right thing to do if you want to be on the right side of history. Put the Immigration Trust Act resolution on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please. Guest number 4, please.
Good evening. Good evening. Jim Price, 47 Gordonhurst. I would like to invite all of you to come down to Delaney Hall in Newark. If you're not aware, Delaney Hall is an ICE jail, and it's used to house a good number of the immigrants that are picked up in New York and New Jersey. It's owned and operated by GEO Group, which is a for-profit corporation. They have jails across the country. Currently, GEO Group has a $1 billion 15-year contract with ICE to house immigrants. If you would, I'd like you to come down and learn more about the lives of immigrants and how this administration has impacted their lives. If you come down in visiting hours, the families have come to visit their loved ones. And you can chat with them and you can learn how this government has torn families apart, literally. And we're trying to get people to come, we're trying to get elected officials to come down, because we need to get more people to come back who've seen it firsthand, can see how their tax dollars are being used. So please come down if you can. I will send each of you an email with directions to Delaney Hall. It's way down at the end of Newark, visiting hours, and I really hope you can make it. And it'll also help you understand why people think the ITA is important. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Is it okay if I turn this around?
Sure.
Good evening, everyone. My name is
evening,
Noah
Noah.
Gale. I have 2 issues I want to talk to you about tonight. One is thank you, Matt, for bringing up the housing, because you know every time I come here, I speak at this podium and asking you all to lower taxes by a huge chunk. I am 25 years old. I have now lived in Montclair for over 20 years, and I am please asking you to lower taxes. It is very important. I would like to live in Montclair the rest of my life till the day I pass away at 104. I want to raise the next few generations here. I never want to leave this town, as I feel at home here and I feel very attached to it. So please consider lowering taxes. I know it's tiring to hear me talk about the same thing over and over at these town council meetings, although it is the truth. Our taxes in Montclair, our property house taxes, are way too high and they need to be lowered by a huge chunk. No one is going to want to move here and keep paying those taxes if they are too high. So please, lower taxes so I can, and many other young people can be able to afford to live here the rest of their lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah.
Also, one more thing. About Delaney Hall and the Immigrant Trust Act. All of you are absolutely 1,000% right and correct. I suggest you all come to Delaney Hall. We do not want dictatorship. We only want democracy, and there should definitely be term limits. No politician in office should be there forever and ever. And also, I am asking you to all come out and vote for Mikey Sherrill, Democratic nominee for governor, on November 4th. I know that it's a lot to process. However, we cannot have a governor who is threatening to ban same-sex marriage or someone who's homophobic who's many other things. Mikey Sherrill will be a get-it-done governor. She'll get things done. She will make housing more affordable. She will freeze utility costs on day one. Thank you.
I'm going to ask, please, that we don't use this time for campaigning, for individuals campaigning.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
That's okay. No, I appreciate that. It's important to do, but this is not the correct venue. So thank you for coming, and we received your concerns. Thank you. Next guest, please. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Greg Payson, 97 Pine Street. I'm here tonight with ICE out of Montclair and a bunch of other organizations to call for the Township Council, our elected representatives, to pass a resolution in support of the New Jersey Immigrant Trust Act and the principles that were put forward. Someone before me read all the principles, so I won't read them again. I'll keep this short. But residents are under attack, and it's not just ICE raids and harassment, but the targeting of human and civil rights activists by this administration through Trump's new memo NSPM 7, which pretty much calls us all terrorists. Residents in our community need to speak up, but it is also important that our elected representatives take a stand. I look forward to a resolution being on the agenda and there being a public discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Hey guys. Hi, my name is Kalen Kinsella, and I live at 25 Madison Avenue in the 4th Ward. First, I would just like to add to previous speakers' points to add the ITA to the agenda as soon as possible, and I hope you can all grow enough courage to do that. And I'll cut to the chase now, I'll be frank. If you saw a vehicle moving at 40 miles an hour, violating traffic laws, would you stop, you would stop them, right? I think we can all agree on that. When it's an e-bike, those consequences are acquitted because of the failure to properly enforce regulations upon them. And I want to be frank here, you guys need to do more about regulations on e-bikes. I have seen time and time again on my way to school, multiple people on an e-bike at once going faster than my car or any cars around me, which would mean that they are no longer class 1 e-bikes, yes, I did my research, or even class 2 or 3, which do require a license. These riders cut the speed cable to make them go faster, and yet they still don't abide by traffic laws, even though they go the same speed as a car. Except if you saw a car blowing a red, you would most likely see them pulled over, and this doesn't occur with e-bike riders. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for bikes and bike lanes, but these are people who do not know how to own a vehicle that goes past 30 miles an hour. I suggest you guys get in contact with the Zero Vision Task Force and think of a resolution because it is a major traffic problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Hi again. I'm Parker Chehawk. I'm from the 2nd Ward. I'm here again today to ask that a resolution in support of the Immigrant Trust Act be added to the council agenda. I had a call with the deputy mayor this week and was told, quote, "The political will to add this to the agenda just isn't there right now." Whose political will are we talking about here? And why is that being used as a reason to keep this off the agenda in the first place? What this decision amounts to is a deliberate effort to keep this away from public discussions. This is gatekeeping. When I was here at the last meeting, you assured me that this resolution would be brought to the committee meeting the following day. It was not. It was added to the agenda, but it was never discussed. I was told that I was also told that the ways to get items onto the agenda was to have two counselors co-sponsor it. I was referred to an unnumbered resolution proposal called the Resolution Establishing Protocols for the Drafting, Review, Timeline, and Posting of Council Meeting Agendas. This resolution has not yet been added to any agenda. Even a resolution establishing protocols for managing the agenda cannot find its way to the agenda. We need to increase transparency of this body and provide a pathway for the public to effectively bring items to this council for public-facing discussion, not backroom chats or private committee meetings. One simple step would be to inform the public of the schedules and agendas, if not the minutes, for the 10 non-public committees established by R-24-183C. The gatekeeping needs to stop. Reasonable items must be added to agendas to promote public-facing discussions on the issues that face this town. I am urging you to add the resolution in support of the Immigrant Trust Act to the agenda for the next meeting. Montclair should stand proudly with the 18 or more other towns that have passed this resolution. Should the political will to do so not exist, then a hearing should be called to bring this to the public for debate. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I'm surprised. Many other topics we're dealing with in town, I kind of let the ball drop on this one because, frankly, I'm shocked that it's not on the agenda and can't understand in Montclair why it wouldn't be on the agenda. The resolution for Immigration Trust Act is kind of simple. And when I look at the list of other towns that have done it and we haven't yet, why are we always behind on progressive actions to keep people safe? This is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So, do we want our community members to feel safe in their schools and when seeking health care or providing for their families? I think we do. I know most of you up here pretty well, and I think you want that. So the fact that it's not up here tells me something. Somebody's holding it back. Somebody or a couple people are holding it back. I'm looking at the list. Bloomfield, our neighbor, did it already. We don't even have it on the agenda to discuss it yet. Morristown, Newark, Plainfield, Patterson, South Orange, Trenton, Essex County. Our county has it. Why are we not doing it? What is the holdup? Hopefully somebody can explain that with some transparency here. I'm married to an immigrant. 30 years we've been married. 20 years he's been a citizen. And I still worry because ICE comes into communities, snatches first, asks questions later. So why this council hasn't had this already passed is beyond me. It needs to move. It needs to get on there. We shouldn't be behind these other towns and cities. We should have been first. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Hello, Council and Town Manager. I'm Jessica Tillier. I live at 3 Harvard Street. And I'm one of the co-founders of Bike Bus and Bike Bus World, which is a global organization. I just wanted to update you a little bit on the Bike Bus impact. So upwards of 400 weekly riders come out almost every Friday, which is approximately 7% of the Montclair public school population. In 2024 and 2025, so just recently, we were the winner of 8 Silver Safe Routes to School awards. So that was 2 years in a row. That's the first time that that's ever happened in Montclair. And just this year, just this school year, just for the last few weeks, On about 5 of the rides, the media has come to ride with us, and there's currently a documentary film being created about us. We are completely unfunded, and we're proof that with a little bit of elbow grease and imagination, citizens can do great things. All that said, Essex County and Montclair continue to have abnormally high rates of car crashes, which puts us all at risk. South Orange and Maplewood received the Safe Routes to School Gold because of further efforts that their town and their schools took. Maplewood and South Orange now actually have bike lanes, which they've advocated for far less time than we have. There's 4 things I would love for us to focus on this year. 1, a continued focus on complete streets. I want to ensure on behalf of the hundreds of families that I serve that the engineer and complete streets director role are protected. It's legally mandated and it's just essential. We pave all the time and we have pristine roads that people crash on. Now it's time to make sure we have greenways that keep people safe. I'm happy to show you the data that will keep everybody, including drivers, safe. Please, Mr. Marks, build a relationship with Mrs. Turner and the parents of the town so we can coordinate on safe streets and allow us to finally not just get silver but get gold. And lastly, when I'm riding in the bike bus, I love hearing the many different languages the children speak with their parents. It is truly the most beautiful thing. And bike bus really represents the diversity we all love so much in our town. I'm the proud wife of an immigrant. And to protect our families, we truly need to protect the Immigrant Trust Act, and we need that added. I know that it feels like a very challenging time. Brene Brown, who I've consulted with, just said that trust is down, and all leaders really have to face that fact. Trust is down. But I believe it is time to be brave, to be courageous, and reimagine what's possible. I'm here to help and support. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name's Marcia Love. I moved to Montclair 40 years ago. My hair was a different color. I'm here also as a member of the Indivisible group in Montclair and of Third Act New Jersey, which is a national organization of seniors with local chapters that fights for climate justice and to also preserve our democracy. I'm here to also support having the resolution to enable the Immigrant Trust Act to be passed. Frankly, I too am baffled about why Montclair has not already passed such a resolution. We are, you've heard these points already. We're a town that promotes and openly struggles to achieve diversity, equity, inclusion, and government affairs. I'm embarrassed. 18 towns and 2 counties in the state have done so, including Bloomfield, which was unanimously agreed upon in March, and I'm happy, here's a copy of it, and I don't know if this is the usual procedure to give you these documents, but you are welcome to this. Although Montclair does not have as many immigrant residents as some other towns, they are here. The MFEE estimates that 200 immigrant families have children in the schools, and half of those are undocumented who need access to public services without fear. Immigrants also work in many Montclair businesses, and there's a growing sentiment in the business community in Montclair that they need to be protected from unwarranted intrusion by federal authorities. Just look at the signs in windows around town, and I will, in case you haven't seen them, this is not a beautiful color copy, but here's one that says, "We stand with immigrants." Another one that says, "No kings, no ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here." I have worked in the labor movement for many years, helping workers who are fighting for safer working conditions. In the last decade, a largely immigrant workforce has made life comfortable for the rest of us. In the pandemic, they were called essential workers. They work very long hours for very little pay, constructing our homes, caring for our loved ones, sorting and packing goods in warehouses, doing yard work. It's not enough that these workers have to cope with physically taxing and dangerous work. They and their families also labor under tremendous mental stress, as you heard from an eloquent and very moving presentation at the beginning here tonight. I have seen the effects of ICE raids on families working at Amazon just 35 minutes from here. Deportations, families torn apart, and the effects will last for generations. Is this how we treat people who come to this country, as many of our ancestors did, trying to provide a better life for their families? My own grandfather came, the document my own grandfather came with was a loaf of bread under his arm from Poland. We are living in very
I'm sorry,
turbulent
when
times.
that buzzer goes off, this might be your first time, but that means that your time is up. We do appreciate you for coming.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So do I give you these documents?
We'll be happy to have them if you leave them over here, please, with Madam Clerk. Thank you so much. Next guest, please.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jamie Bedrin. I'm a parent and an educator who has lived in Montclair for 15 plus years. I live on Gordonhurst. I have 2 children attending public schools, also graduate of MKA, and I'm here tonight to speak about the school district's budget crisis. The truth is that our schools can no longer afford to live here. And there's something to be said about the relationship between a town and its school district. I've always thought the schools were the soul of Montclair. We have so much in our little wedge of New Jersey, but you take away the schools and the light goes out. The township and its residents need to think deeply about the future of Montclair. What is truly important? If our school system tanks, everyone suffers, and we have to make a choice. Do we want to inspire, or do we want to fail? Education is the key to producing productive members of society, and as someone who has spent a lot of time in many of our schools as a parent volunteer, an enrichment teacher, and a substitute teacher, I've been witness to the best of the best. I love our schools. There's so much great stuff going on in our classrooms. I really, really hate to see it fall apart. This isn't about the town bailing us out. It's about asking the question, can we do better for our schools? Do we want to ensure that Montclair schools are robust and appealing now and in the future? Or will we throw our hands up and say, we didn't care enough to even try to help? Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Hello, and I just want to say about 2 things today. It's firstly that today my bus was late to school because my road was my street was being under construction and getting the bit of construction. It was closed off, and it was the part of it was where my bus usually comes from, and I was late to school because my bus was late and didn't know the route. And people shouldn't close off streets before before telling the schools, so the people who drive buses for kids to go to school know the route. And secondly, it's about bike lanes. It's like, it's so dangerous without bike lanes for biking. And I personally think that biking is better than driving. It gives you exercise. It's better for the planet because some types of cars can like spread chemicals and gases into the air. And it's not good for all the plants.
Thank you, Gigi. Thank you. Next guest, please. Oh, she's a doll. She's getting better and better.
Hi, my name is Thea Cook, and my address is 9 Laurel Place. And I'm here today in support for a resolution in favor of the Immigrant Trust Act. When I moved to Montclair, it was very obvious what this town was. Everywhere you went, depending on what month it was, what we were recognizing, I could see it. It was AIPI, or it was Hispanic Heritage Month. I knew that. This town is very diverse, welcoming. It's supposed to be safe. And if it is not safe, we have done something wrong, and we need to change that. And a previous speaker mentioned our ancestors coming here the same way. I don't have to look at my ancestors. My mother and my grandparents, they came from the Soviet Union in the early 1980s because they were seeking asylum. The idea that someone else has to seek asylum has, at any point in their lives, moved to this town and is now having their livelihood threatened is appalling. And we cannot stand for that. And so I implore the council to prioritize this resolution immediately. And I hate to sound like a broken record with all the other points made, but we will keep repeating ourselves until this is fixed, until this is rectified. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Good evening.
Good
I'm
evening.
Chrissy Thomas, and I'm the child of 2 resident aliens. They weren't citizens when I was growing up. And when I think about what that means to kids now that are different colored or speak a different language at home, it makes my heart hurt. The Immigrant Trust Act is low-hanging fruit, and I think you should consider it. And thinking that there's not enough interest is probably not correct. I also wanted to talk about how I'm a product of the Montclair Magnet School System from kindergarten through 12. I started out as class of 88, but I graduated in 87. And I wanted to do a quick shout out to the MHS varsity field hockey champs of 1985. They were the state champions, many of whom got inducted into the Montclair Sports Hall of Fame this weekend. Some of the best people you can ever meet were my classmates in Montclair. I went on to earn my BA, my MBA, a master's in public policy, a law degree, and I've attended Wesleyan University, University of Pennsylvania, Georgetown, and UVA. My law office is at 96 Park Street, and my family has owned properties in Montclair since 1970, always paying taxes. I have siblings that are slightly older than me that didn't have the same experience I did in the Montclair Magnet Schools. I've got a freshman that's MHS class of 2029 and who's the varsity field hockey goalie. I'm heartbroken by the current fiscal crisis we find ourselves in. Our trust has been broken, but we literally cannot just give up on our schools. We deserve better. If you want creative, common sense, transparent, fiscally responsible leadership, you have to do something. And I'm asking everybody to write me in on the ballot under personal choice. I'm not on there because
Chrissy,
at the time...
Excuse me. I'm going to ask, please, that you don't do that here with this particular time.
I think this is the perfect time to do it because people have to know how to write in somebody on a ballot.
Right, but I was asked not to do like campaigning and that type of thing here. Let me just ask the attorney, because if it's fine, then, I certainly don't have a personal problem with it. Let's see if we're allowed to do that here in this venue.
You can't tell people how to write in a name on a ballot? That is what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm
That's not
doing.
appropriate for this particular meeting. It doesn't pertain to any issue that's before the township.
The
that you would
schools
like the
are
township to
an
address.
issue before the town.
But your campaign is not.
My campaign is not, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm talking about what this town needs and how they need help from the, how the schools need help from the town, and how they're one unit.
fine.
They're separate, but they're still, the town manager still has had say over the Board of School estimate for years and years. We only recently went to an elected board, and now we're in a $19 million deficit. And we didn't know it at the time that people had to register to run. And now it's time to do something. And I'm willing to put my hat in the ring and step up, because this town needs help. It needs smart people like all of us, all of you who got up and ran for something, to get involved. And so I'm asking people to write me in on their ballots. And to do that, they have to, under personal choice,
Chrissy, I'm
have to
asking you
write it
please
in.
not to do that in here.
Okay.
I
Thank you.
appreciate that. Hold on, Councilor Birmingham.
I just want to be clear
Yeah.
on what's legal and not legal.
That's why I
because
asked for a
my-
legal opinion.
Yeah, I'm just, is it really true that somebody can't come in here and
Campaign.
and say?
Because all of you did it.
I just want to be clear. What is the?
It's not appropriate for public comment at a mayor and council meeting. That's probably
But
more
what? But
especially
appropriate
when-
versus legal, like, whether we want her to say somebody to say it or not, like, what is legal? I guess.
Well, typically, under the public comment portion, it has to relate to the particular meeting.
I'm running
and
for the
to-
Township of Montclair, and if it's a legal argument, then you should have your facts in front of you.
You're not running for township, you are running for the board. so you
It's
can
the
go to
Board of Education in the Township of Montclair, where I went to school,
They're two separate public entities, you understand that?
and I got a law degree also.
Yes, I understand that.
So,
Chrissy,
I
if
wouldn't
we
do
find out
something
we're
that I thought
wrong,
was
then I
illegal.
apologize, because I'm not personally trying to.
No,
give you
I
short
understand,
shrift
and
here.
I was trying to broaden my comments to include things other than me. It's not about me, it's about the town.
And we'd like
Okay.
to speak on it. Absolutely.
so, because I mean.
You're making
Okay.
incorrect statements of law
Okay.
as the town attorney, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Next guest, please.
I can't follow the little girl, so I'll try my best here.
Gigi.
Give me. Hello, Town Council. How are you?
Hi.
As you know, I am Rostafa. I am the
Mustafa.
producer as well as the coordinator for the band's Last Waltz that will be taking place November 15th, which is a Saturday at Montclair Art Museum. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up of what's been going on. So for those of you who don't know, and again, I know some of you have been very supportive and appreciative of what I've been able to do, but in the words of Martin Luther King, even though my feet are tired, my soul is well rested. And to be quite honest with you, although that it has been treacherous and also is never easy, I've been able to accumulate over $10,000 to make sure that we were able to produce this show. And trust me, it was not easy.
Wow.
And to be quite honest with you, I've also dealt with a lot of feedback from the town, not specifically here, but with other people, different businesses, different residents. And I know a lot of them, they support other different people, and that's okay, and that's fine with me. But the one thing that I've also found that's a common thread is a lot of people don't like to tell the truth about their circumstance. In other words, I don't necessarily ask for saying everybody to help me out, because that's not what I'm here for. But one thing that I've found out was that there was also a lot of people that I've heard chitter chatter behind the scenes with the event. For example, first and foremost, we're helping two organizations this year, not just Tony's Kitchen, but also Make the Road New Jersey, which, by the way, they help with housing, which, by the way, I was a victim of this year. And it's actually kind of ironic with all the talk that's been coming up here today. They also deal with immigration issues. And it's also been very bothering to me because, again, I've also felt, not only within Essex County, but also people that I know personally that have been dealing with harassment by law enforcement. We're not just talking about ICE, we're also talking about law enforcement. This is a problem. What does this have to do with the Last Waltz? Well, first and foremost, anybody can go. It's a public event. Anyone can go, including all of you, or some of you, or a few of you. That's your choice. However, though, I am asking at the bare minimum by the council, and again, I'm not trying to put myself over Montclair Film Festival, I'm not trying to put myself over any other event that happens here, but ultimately what I'm trying to do here is to see if I can get any and all support from the council, from any, and I believe I even gave a flyer here, which unfortunately, to my eye, has not been posted, or unless I've not been notified that it has not been posted when I gave it to Ryan. No, it's okay. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying based upon what I see. I also have confirmation that I have signs that I'll be able to put up, almost like political signs, but they're for the last waltz. So they are musical signs, if you want to put it that way. But nonetheless, by the bare minimum, any and all help to help get the message out there, because unfortunately, we're actually running low on ticket sales in the pre-sale. And that would also help us, because we do want to see another sellout, because I want this to be a staple in Montclair, and I don't care if my name's on a marquee, it is not about me. And I abide my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Good evening, Lynn Stockhammer, Forest Street, Montclair. I'm here to speak about the ITA, the Immigrant Trust Act. I'm trying to edit out a lot of what I had written because people have said it very well. I am also really disappointed that this is not on the agenda. You know, at the beginning of the year, Mayor Baskerville, you had a wonderful, prominent, informative announcement on our webpage stating that Montclair will not allow ICE into our schools, libraries, places of worship. I'm not finding that present on the website any longer or even accessible. I may not know where to look for it, but that is a protection. I think you also had links to Know Your Rights, if I recall. I'm not sure.
Know Your Rights,
I think that needs to be reinstituted and codified. We have that was really, you know, Montclair at its best. You know, on the other hand, the American flag remained at half-staff per order of the so-called president in several Montclair locations under the guise of mourning a death of a non-public official, but in fact to celebrate the life and followers of a very influential white supremacist. We either followed orders that enabled and promoted this and this hate, or we failed at a critical moment, whether through neglect or complicity. This didn't go unnoticed. That was a national moment, and we needed and we still need to be paying attention. Hardworking, law-abiding immigrants, I'm going to leave this out, I'm sorry, because it's been said before, but these people are our town, our friends and neighbors. I am not one of them. I'm a privileged white woman, but they are all of us, and we are better than this. On behalf of voices who cannot be here, and thank you for those who are, and who have had the courage to be here, perhaps at risk, the people are standing up. We're speaking to you, Council, and we need Montclair to speak to the legislature of the state of New Jersey. We're asking you to simply pass a resolution and submit it so that it gets onto the governor's desk. Deputy Mayor, we spoke briefly when we ran into each other. I understood you would be liaison. You were also going to get back to me. I believe that in essence what you said, that you believe that this is a state-level matter. Okay, fine, I agree. We do need to take this to the state level, but we have to start here. This is our business. We will lose federal money with or without supporting the ITA. If there are considerations before this council as to us taking a stand and standing up of we're going to be in the crosshairs, we already are. Can I say one more second? Thank you. We are standing up, and you are our elected officials. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. Let us not fail at a critical moment. The resolution is a good step. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate your politeness. Next guest, please.
Hello, my name is Rita Delu. I'm a student at Montclair State, and I'm also here to speak in support of the resolution that in support of the Immigrant Trust Act. I think it's an incredibly urgent matter that should have already been on the agenda, but because it has not, I think it needs to be on the agenda at the November meeting. And at that point, it needs to be passed because ICE has already operated in Montclair, and that's bad enough. And the fact that any routine encounter with police is a risk of immigration getting involved and detaining immigrants, residents of Montclair, is kind of horrifying. I'm terrified for the people that I know, which is nothing compared to what they and their families are going through. I think it's an incredibly urgent matter, and hopefully the council can do the right thing and look into passing this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Hi, I'm Mariana Horta. I'm Gigi's mom, and I live on Gordonhurst Avenue. I'm the mom of an issuing student. So I'm here today, firstly, about resolution number 8. I'm really happy to see it on the agenda, but I'd like to ask you to pull it out of the consent agenda and actually discuss it, because the public needs to know about this. You're looking at a $4 million increase in health benefits costs. That's about $10,000 per employee. That is completely fiscally unsustainable and just impossible. And I'd love to know how much of a savings you have with this new plan. Also, is this plan sustainable? Because the brief description in the resolution makes it appear that we have a plan that's just as unsustainable, just as excessively generous as the old one, and we're just doing away with the problem of adverse selection. We're also selecting out of the state plan. But the state plan is spiraled out of control because it was too generous. And the state has negotiated with their own employees for a more reasonable plan. And Montclair deserves the same. You also need to do the same thing that the state did. You need to negotiate with your employees and at a minimum get the same concessions that the state got. So I think it's very important that you be transparent with us about what happened, why you chose this, how much of a savings, and how to make it sustainable. If I still have a couple minutes, yes. So there's one thing that's worse, a lot worse, than having to fix your sidewalk because a tree uprooted it, and that's losing your tree. So I just had a surprise tax. I just paid almost $3,000, $2,900 and something to fix my sidewalks. And it's not fun, but that's the law. I have to do it. And now my street is going to lose another 3 trees. None of these trees are dead. It's extremely important that we keep our trees. And your code enforcer and your arborist are playing fast and loose with the trees. I was basically offered, if I wanted to lose my tree, they would take it out, and the town would pay for it. I didn't have to. You cannot allow that. We need an ordinance to protect our trees. We need a little bit of a climate resilience in this town, right? There are worse things than liability, and there are worse things than paying for sidewalks, and that's losing our trees. And very last of all, we need the town to be able to have a courteous, cooperative relationship. I need Mr. Marks to have a good cooperative relationship with Ms. Turner, because when he doesn't, our children suffer, right? We need the town to communicate with the schools on street safety, on road closures. So thank you. I'll just hand this over to Mr. Marks.
Thank you very much. Next guest, please.
Tony Martin,
Good
41
evening.
North Fullerton Avenue. What a remarkable bunch of citizen activists we have in this town. It does my heart good to hear all of these people speaking so well. Tonight I would like to speak about 2 citizen activists who need our help and support. One, Ahava Felicidad, who is the founder of the tenants organization of Montclair, and alongside whom I worked for years, we were not paid by anybody, as Trump accuses activists of being. No, 2 long, hard fought years to get rent control in this town. I now sit on the rent control board. I think we make a huge difference having that rent control. It's not perfect, but it's an enormous benefit to so many in this town. AHABA was the soul of the effort. Recently, not that recently, some months ago now, she was burned out of her salon and health center, and due to complex insurance and bureaucratic situation, she's still right there, burned out, and not able to rebuild her business until we give her our support in various ways. I am working with a council member, may I say, Councilwoman Toller, and perhaps others of you will join with us in trying to arrange a fundraiser to help her get back in the game. Okay. Secondly, we citizen representatives get to know each other, and we really got to know each other during that reign of Michigan politics that preceded this council. Oh my gosh, I mean, there were so many times we sat out here and we heard, it felt like an airplane, a fighter pilot jet was flying over the council members, dumping a load of crap, if you catch my drift. So often, that's how it felt. And people stood up, and some of them were more eloquent than others, and some of them were absolute warriors in pursuit of the truth. One of them had extraordinary financial acumen. She has lawyerly chops, and she is now a write-in candidate for the Board of Education. I don't know her too well, except what I've seen here. She's awesome. People who need to know more about her should simply go online, check her out. Chrissy, Chrisssy, Thomas. Get your pencil when you get your belt. Thank you.
Next guest, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here tonight. My name is Lily Benavides. I live in Parsippany. I come here as...
I'm sorry, please tell us your name again, please.
Lily Benavides.
Thank you.
I'm here as an immigrant, and I'm also here representing the Green Party of New Jersey. I'm coming here to support the resolution for the Immigrant Trust Act, which I think is absolutely necessary right now. Since it's been stuck in Trenton, it's not moving, and we need to pass it as many towns as we can to protect the immigrants, but it's not just the immigrants. Anyone, as we heard before, we heard that, anyone of color, anyone with an accent, anyone that does not speak the language. We need to do this to make our communities to feel safe for our kids. My kids are not necessarily white, and they are at risk. And many of the children of the families that I know. And I'll tell you an experience recently that my granddaughter was stopped by the police because of the name on the plates. Okay, so it was racial profiling, and they asked her if she had documents. Nothing happened, but she was very scared, and then she was scared thinking that if me or her mom were going to speak about this, that the police was coming or immigration was coming to our house. So this is absolutely awful, and we need to do whatever it takes to stop it. Para los que hablan español, venimos aquí a apoyar la resolución para los inmigrantes, para que la policía no colabore con ICE, porque todos estamos en riesgo, no solamente las personas que sean indocumentadas, sino también las personas de color que tengan un acento, que no hablen el idioma. Y más que todo nuestros hijos y nuestros niños también están en peligro, y por eso estoy aquí hoy. Gracias. Thank you.
De nada, gracias. Next guest, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, everybody in the audience. My name is Barry Bender, and I live quite a distance from here in Forked River in Ocean County. I've been to a number of places where we've been before the town councils or town committees speaking about the ITA. I really didn't expect Montclair to be one of those towns, but we all have to be aware of the facts that are out there. New Jersey is being invaded by an illegal army, as far as I'm concerned. The people in Trenton need to stand up, and they need to, if worst case scenario, bring a lawsuit against the federal government for what they're doing, because what's going on is, as far as I'm concerned, is illegal. They're violating state rights. But what I want to talk about here is you folks endorsing the ITA. The more towns that endorse the ITA, it puts more pressure on the people in Trenton. And they need as much pressure as possible, because this has to be passed here. Again, I don't think I'm exaggerating in saying New Jersey is being invaded by an illegal army. The leadership here, township level, state level, county level, at all levels, they need to step forward and say, not here in New Jersey. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Hi, I'm Lauren Berman. I support everything everyone's saying about the Immigrant Trust Act. That's not why I came tonight. Ironically, one of the things that I came to talk about tonight is that we're approaching the anniversary of the termination of Paul Burr, and we have no attorney. And now we have an attorney sitting here who I hope just doesn't know the law. I hope that that's what's happening. So I'm going to read from the ACLU of New Jersey website now. Do I have the right to speak at public meetings? The law currently requires municipal governing bodies and school boards to set aside a portion of every meeting for public comments. Other public bodies may also allow public comments, but they are not required to do so. If a public body provides a time for public comment, it may adopt written policies that require speakers to sign up in advance and that limit the time of each speaker. When addressing the public body is not required to respond to your questions. The public body cannot censor your speech during a public comment portion because it does not agree with you or like what you are saying. The public body also cannot prohibit comments based on subject matter so long as the comments relate to any issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the municipality or school district. We are in a situation now where we have a write-in candidate who has very high name recognition and has an actual opportunity to win a seat on the school board, and you may be costing the township the candidate that they want to win tonight with your actions. If anybody knows what thumb scaling in a municipal election in Montclair can do, they are sitting where you are sitting. It is an outrage that this is going on tonight, and it is totally unacceptable. Now, given that Chrissy Thomas, write-in candidate, put her name up there, was just prohibited illegally from explaining how to do so, I'm asking that she be given the remainder of her time to get up here and explain it.
Thank you. Next guest, please. Next guest, please.
I'm going to sit here for my other 28 seconds. Does anybody else up here want to say anything about following the law?
You're supposed to follow the law. This is the whole point. We want to live in a democracy, not dictatorship, people.
Okay, I'll use my other 12 seconds to say that you continue to follow OPMA less and less every meeting. At the beginning of this meeting, you took items off the agenda that meant you discussed the agenda items in executive session. That cannot happen. There's a very limited list of things you can discuss in executive session. His appointment in its entirety was not one, just as an attorney cited in the Montclair Local said before you appointed him.
What did you say?
Good evening. My name is Lonnie Summer-Padilla. I'm a resident of Montclair. I would first like to restate, as I stated last town council meeting, that I support having a resolution for the Immigrant Trust Act. In addition, I would like to talk a little bit about efficiency, which I think is something that we really need to be looking at the township level. Part of that is acknowledging that one of the significant costs that our township, as well as our school system, has faced is legal costs. And part of the reason for that is receiving not great advice from attorneys historically. So our previous council was wrapped up in an enormous amount of litigation that is still ongoing. And that really comes from not having an attorney advising you properly and or not taking that advice. And so tonight I think we saw an example, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you, but your advice was wrong. And things like that can lead to litigation and cost us millions of dollars that we don't have. So when we're talking about efficiency, this is one of the things that really plays into that. And so I really encourage you to do your due diligence and really vet any attorney that you have coming to sit with you up here at town council meetings and advising you in your council practices. In addition, Mr. Marks, in your Montclair pod interview, one of the things you said was that you have instituted a hiring freeze. And so I'm a little confused as to why there are positions that are open to be filled, including one on the agenda for tonight for a housing specialist. So I'm not sure what's changed since your interview with the Montclair pod until tonight, but I really support having that hiring freeze in place because we really need to be taking a hard look at what is happening in our town and how money is being spent, because there are a lot of people in town who have a lot of needs and deserve to have those needs filled. And we can't do that if we're spending for, things that we really don't need to be spending on. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please.
Madam Mayor, may I? May I? Excuse me, Lonnie. The resolution that you see on tonight for the housing person is through a grant.
Next guest, please.
And the engineers?
That's different.
That's
But I just
different,
wanted to
because
speak
that
on the
was the
housing.
other
It has
thing
to
I
do with
saw
the
open,
affordable-
and I
yes.
think there were 3 positions on there that
That's
are,
totally different,
okay,
but
thank
I
you.
just wanted you to understand that one.
Next guest, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Okay. Ahava Felicidad, President and first founder of the Tenants Organization of Montclair, and as such, for those who also know now, I am the owner at Ahava Felicidad Hair and Body. I've been a wellness practitioner and in hair about 4 decades now. So I'm a lifelong Montclair resident, daughter of one immigrant, a single mother, and someone who built everything I have without a silver Without a silver spoon or trust fund, I'm here tonight as both a neighbor and an advocate, reminding us that community starts with how we look out for each other, not just in words, also in awareness. And I would like for us to all be mindful of who is entering our buildings with us, especially as theft and safety concerns rise. I hear a lot and I see a lot when I'm out and about due to a program that I participate in with my business, and neighbors are talking to me more regularly now, increased even with us having the rent control law in place. There's still more residents talking to me about things that are going on in buildings. So there has been some issues with theft. So I want everyone to pay attention to just who may try to piggyback you coming into your building, and knowing your neighbors and making sure that you don't have to be overly involved to make a friend or say hey to a neighbor and be familiar with who's in your building, whether it's a 8-unit building or a 28-unit building or a 99-unit building or garden community. Just try to be aware of who lives around you so you're not letting strangers in to take from everyone. I also want to thank everyone who volunteers and serves in our community every day. Your work matters. I say this not to overshadow, but to strengthen. We all play a part in keeping Montclair safe and connected. I want to highlight one resource. It's vital for our tenants, our rent control office. It exists for a reason. If you experience a violation, report it. Documentation and awareness protect all of us now and in the future. God bless you. Salud dinero. As for me, I'm not going away. I just had a call even today that came in about going to the rent control office for a violation and getting help, and then I made recommendations. So we still do that in terms of the resources we will offer through the tenants organization of Montclair. I'm here to represent every tenant in Montclair, those here now and those who will come after us, who deserve stability, respect, and a voice. We are watching, we are listening, and acting in accordance with the law, and love for this town that we all call home. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you very much. Next guest, please.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I am here for just a couple of things. So I was riding my bike today, trying to figure out where the noise of a gas leaf blower was coming from, because that's what I do when I hear them. And a friend of mine, an old lady, stopped me saying, "Stop, I was looking for you." She was really, really distraught. I had visited her garden, which is a beautiful garden, so wonderful. And she gave me plants, which now are in my garden. And that's one of the ways in which people in Montclair get to know each other, and it's super sweet. And she said, "I was hoping to bump into you. My neighbor chopped down 5 oak trees. Look at my garden now, it's completely changed." And it happened to be a house that did not get a permit to remove trees. I won't say what house that is, obviously. We need a better tree ordinance. We need it now. We needed it yesterday. I know it's a complicated one, but we're losing tree canopy. Our tree ordinance right now isn't even being enforced properly. People are cutting down trees without permits, so we can't even track, what we're losing. I was at the planning board yesterday for the public comment for the sustainability and resilience amendment, and I was really disappointed in a lot of the content in that document, and I hope to see a better draft. That's a huge concern of mine. I support the Immigrant Trust Act. One of the best things about moving to America has been meeting people from all over the place. That's not how I grew up, and I would like for America to stay that way. Lastly, school and town is separate, and I'm really appalled at the situation the schools are in. I had a feeling for a long time that there was stuff going on that we didn't know about. Certainly I was experiencing that with my issue, but they go together. My daughter has been talking about a lot of the things that you council are talking about, and so I really do hope that you can write in Chrissy Thomas on the ballot, because I think she would really make a good BOE member. Thank you.
Thank you. Next guest, please. Okay. I'm going to take a 10-minute break at this point in time, and then we're going to reconvene. I'm going to give our attorney an opportunity, if she wishes, to seek another opinion. I certainly don't want to sit here and do something that is not in alignment with the law. I certainly don't know what it is, and I lean heavily on our attorney here. So we're going to take a 10-minute break and then reconvene. Yeah. Yeah.
I just want everybody to know, especially if you're first time, that not having a dialogue during public comment is never a sign of disrespect or that we're not listening to what you're saying. It's just, that is a best practice that I strongly believe in. What I want to do is us to move to a format where we do have a session immediately after public comment where we respond individually to everybody rather than doing it on the fly. We would write down what people are saying because it's fair to people.
People are breaking the law on the fly. You kind of have to
Break glass. There can always be an exception.
So I make a motion to adjourn for a 10-minute break.
First, just to follow up on what Councilor D'Amato said, one, I do want to correct. We did not discuss what items were being removed from the agenda in closed session. That was not discussed there at all. I can absolutely tell you that. I was sitting here. We did not discuss that. And two, following up on what he said, we're working on developing a procedure. It is better, and I've been in many municipal governing bodies, to listen to what the public has to say, and then after everyone is done, then respond. And we are going to be discussing during this little interlude with our attorney what political comments are appropriate during council sessions. So if you're interested in that, don't run away while we're taking
Right, so we're going to take a 10-minute break for the third time, and then we'll reconvene shortly. Thank you.
Also,
Thank you, and I thank all of the members of the public and the council for your patience. I thank those of you who were kind enough to bring to our attention something that we did hear that was not in alignment with the law or appropriate. And I'm going to ask our attorney, Kumar Thompson, please, if she would just address you for one moment.
Yes. So, yeah, thank you for bringing it to my attention, Missy, and everyone else in terms of the public comment section. In most of my municipalities that I've worked at, they've always limited that to the items on the agenda or to matters germane to that meeting and subject and topics that are to be discussed. I was informed that the only restriction on public comment in Montclair is as to the time limit. So, New Jersey. Well, there are municipalities that put time, place, manner restrictions. Under the Open Public Meetings Act, you can put restrictions, and I have worked in municipalities in Bergen County that have those restrictions. And in this case, we only have the one public comment period, so I was incorrect. And I believe the mayor's going to invite you back to finish your comment. Campaign?
Yes.
Campaign on the public microphone? That's what I'm calling that for?
Thank you, Attorney. So during the 10 minutes that we were out, we reviewed the law, and at this particular time, this body does not have a written law regarding how we're going to address that. Certainly, that will be one of the things that's very high on our agenda, just like the Immigration Act. But I do want to offer Ms. Chrissy Thomas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'd like.
She can speak.
I'd like to offer Ms. Thomas, please, to your opportunity to come to the podium, and you can have your 3 minutes to share with us. What?
I appreciate the council recognizing the Constitution and the right of everybody to speak. I am sad that Noah Gale was told to be quiet because he said something political. I'm sad that anybody that tries to come up and do something nice for the town or even takes the time out of their day to speak is told that they're acting illegally when they're not. It's absolutely unforgivable for an attorney to give advice like that and to call somebody out like that in the middle of a speech when they don't have to, and to even ask if that's appropriate. You know better, Dr. Baskerville, Mayor Baskerville, and it's not really okay that I'm being asked to come up here again and speak when I was interrupted. And when rude comments come from the peanut gallery, it's inappropriate. I've got a freshman at MHS, class of 2029, who's the varsity field hockey goalie, and I'm heartbroken by the current fiscal crisis we find ourselves in. Our trust has been broken, but we literally cannot just give up on our schools. We deserve better. If you want creative, common sense, transparent, fiscally responsible leadership, you have to write in on the ballot under personal choice. I'm not on there because at the time that you had to register to run, we didn't know about the $12 to $19 million deficit, much of which is going to be recurring if we don't change course. I care very deeply about this town, and I'm the benefit of our magnet system at its best. I'm ready to meet this moment and work for all of us to bring back the magic of our Montclair magnet schools if you'll let me use my skills, my law degree, my MBA, my master's in public policy to benefit this town at a time when my skills are very much needed. If you want new, smart leadership that shares your values, please write in Chrissy Thomas on your ballot for Board of Ed. To do that, on the ballot, it has, under the Board of Ed candidates, it has personal choice. You have to fill in the circle and write in your choice. You can do that for me by writing in Chrissy, C-H-R-I-S-S-Y, Thomas, T-H-O-M-A-S. I also learned that the woman who came up here and spoke so eloquently in Spanish is running as a write-in candidate for governor of New Jersey. And you could write in Lily Bienvenides, Benavides, Lily, if you are so inclined. I'm all about Mikey Sherrill. I think that she's the best choice, but that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other guests who have signed in? No. Okay. Okay.
Greetings, Kalia Sweat.
Good evening.
I have not been in this room for a while intentionally because I felt the increase of the black oppression within this room. So I stopped coming months ago. As you know, I was the person who brought forth the black liberation flag. I see that even that was disrespected, dishonored, and disgraced. You had to create an ordinance for that flag that you didn't even follow. It was supposed to go up on June 19th. But it didn't. A different flag did that was red, white, and blue. What I saw here tonight is so inappropriate. You're not supposed to campaign in public comment. Now, she knows why I'm making noise in the back, because of her comments about a symbol that represents the freedom of my people, the people that I'm a part of. So I am an advocate at school board meetings. So I will be there, and I definitely do not want to deal with any more white supremacy on that school board. When we got an anti-racism policy passed, it wasn't because of individuals like this. These are the people who stand in the way of black progress. And I'm really, really disappointed. I haven't even wanted to come in this room. I think it was very disrespectful how this woman here was spoken to. It was very disrespectful. I've been watching all the meetings. I haven't come, but I never stopped watching. The disrespect, how people are talking about homeless people, mentally ill people. When you start making vulnerable people even more vulnerable, you're evil. Why are we acquiescing to this type of energy? These are the same ones who stood in the way of the black liberation flag. And we have meetings in here about affordable housing that we're not going to do. This place is wild, and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. I see everyone smiling at you. You're the council person who yelled for me to get out the room and disrespected other black women. I guess everyone forgot. I have not. I have not. And folks who make people like this comfortable, you make all of us more vulnerable. I definitely stand in agreement with the Immigration Act. We have people born and raised here, who've been here, who are the descendants of folks who didn't choose to even come here, who don't have protective factors. And we have the audacity to allow someone to come stand here and campaign at this podium? Let her win. See what I will be at every school board meeting, every one. I'm not looking for applause. You don't need to share.
Thank you. Is there another guest here? Okay, we're going to move on, and that will end our public comment for the evening. And we're going to go to new business. Councilor D'Amato, can we start on your end?
New business, ordinance B. We have, item A was withdrawn. Is that correct? So B is an ordinance to create the position of housing specialist, and I so move.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes.
If I may. I just wanted to clarify, so this is an ordinance to create the position of a housing specialist. This is I wanted to just say that this is a fully grant-funded position. It's, and when I asked, I was told that it was only, it's a position that will only last 2 years, which is the time period that it's funded. It's to, we are getting the money from our participation, our selection as a participant in the New Jersey Homes Program, which is administered by the Department of Community Affairs. It calls for an award of $50,000 per year for basically staff support to help implement our township's affordable housing programs, which were codified in the fourth round housing element and fair share plan and the spending plan. So what we were told by Janice Talley, under whose direction this person would be working, whoever is hired, is that it's a part-time hourly role. And it's, the purpose of having support in the township is to help us to sort of jumpstart our affordable housing programs and initiatives. So I just wanted to make that clear because I know that there are some questions.
Questions?
Well, I don't have a question. I just would say that, especially given that we are going to have to be, a little tighter in the years going forward, that grant-funded positions can, it can be a bit of a trap. I just read a book, not a great book, but it had some good bits, called The Innovation Delusion, and it was, big parts of it were about federal government and other superior governments dangling grant money to do something, and then municipalities in particular ending up with cost structures that they later ended up, having to work around. So as long as, I'm not interrogating this particular position too hard, and I do believe that our housing functions and services probably need some centralization and coordination, and maybe a czar. I think we've all talked about it. I don't like the word czar, but in here, I think that going forward, every time we say something is grant funded, a position, we should be skeptical. We should be healthily skeptical about it, and that's all I'll say. I'm done.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilor Birmingham?
Can I just clarify, in the job description, it says assist in the township's accessory apartment program. Can you just explain, is that the ADU, or what is that?
Yes, that's our accessory dwelling unit program.
Okay.
We have a lot of inquiries that come into our office, and there's a lot of activity at the state level to try and make the process simpler with models of ADUs and cost, coming up with cost to reduce the cost to build them. So we're going to try and integrate some of those conversations here in Montclair.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have a question? Okay, Planner Talley, I have a question. So regarding this position, as you know, the Community Collaborative on Unhoused Residents has recently retained Michael Woods to a position that almost reads identically to what's in here. And the purpose was to be that one umbrella person to bring us all together and make sure that we're not duplicating services and to do a lot of the things that are here. So I guess because this is a grant fund, we just wanted to use the money. I'm not really clear because Family Promise and Partners for Health, they gave a large chunk of money specifically for the same type of position. I get it. They are, they're not part of the township per se, but if we're going to collaborate with people, then I'm just trying to figure out why the duplication when we're doing collaborative efforts. We're meeting with them, at least once, twice, or more a month to talk about the similar things that are written in here.
Respectfully, they're very different positions. The work that Michael Woods does is valuable, working with the unhoused, really evaluating their needs, the service needs, because it's not a single trait population. There's a lot of different issues and a lot of different efforts that go with addressing the needs of the unhoused. This is to create housing. It's to create affordable housing, low-income housing, moderate-income housing. We also have a workforce housing initiative that I'd like to expand as well. We have it in some of our redevelopment plans. So the focus is not so much doing the wraparound services for the unhoused and identifying them and getting them to the services that they need. It's more basic than that. It's to help us to create opportunities for affordable housing, part of which is supportive housing. We've talked about that. So while it's related, in that end, it's a much different focus. And this person, again, we've been going through extensive training with the state, talking about what we're doing in Montclair and what other municipalities are doing. And the state said, we understand you all need staff to jumpstart these programs and these initiatives, working with the faith-based organizations and the nonprofit organizations who require a lot of handholding. So that's a lot of what this person will be doing to get those programs up and running in a 2-year period. So hopefully, you know, it'll be much easier once we get the programs running and the conversations going. So,
okay. Thank you.
Just want to, for the record.
Councilor Toller?
Thank you. Councilor D'Amato's made a statement. This is not going to serve the purpose of the czar that we want. This is for a very unique, specific, we still need that person though. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Do you want to discuss that for the public so they'll know what you all are talking about?
Well, you know, my recommendation and thinking is that we need someone that handles all things housing, not just affordable. Okay, one person. Our programs operate under 3 separate departments. We need one person to handle all 3 items. This particular job or grant-funded position will cover one portion of the 3. So there's still some conversations that need to be held to find a person to do all 3, so that we have all of our housing issues programs under one person, one department, one roof. Right now it's separated. I just wanted to put that on the record.
So would that be an additional staff member that,
it would have
that
to
you're
be,
suggesting?
unless we can find a way to make this work for that particular person, but because it's grant-funded money, we have to adhere to whatever the grant specifies this person does. So I don't think we can do it with this particular person that's going to be hired, because they wouldn't have the Section 8 training, if you will. So we need someone.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Council Williams? No? Okay. Madam Clerk?
Deputy Mayor Anderson?
Yes.
Counselor Birmingham?
Yes.
Counselor D'Amato?
Yes.
Counselor Harrison?
Yes.
Counselor Toller?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Baskerville?
Yes. Councilor Birmingham, please.
I have new business ordinance C, an ordinance to amend section 327, vehicles and traffic, 327-9.1, multi-way stop intersections. And this is an ordinance to place a multi-way stop intersection at the intersection of Lorraine being the major street, Lorraine Avenue, and Norwood Avenue being the minor street. And this is located very contiguous to Buzz Aldrin School. So I so move.
Second. Discussion?
I'll just quickly say this is my block. These were my people who pushed for this. I have a neighbor who told me that when he moved in around the year, I don't know, it was like in the mid-90s, and he said to his new neighbor, we should have a stop sign here. And he said, I've been trying for 20 years to get a stop sign. So that's 50 years or something like that. Anyway, it's there. It's a very important intersection. There are 3 schools. It's the only place in town, in the township, with 3 schools in 2 blocks. And there have been a lot of incidents there. So I won't go on, but I want to thank our engineer, Mr. Hernandez, and I want to thank DCS Director Ashley. So we had this on the agenda at a meeting of the Complete Streets Oversight Board, and they said, and I pushed very hard, and they said this does not really fit the criteria based on the crash data, the available crash data for a 4-way. But they took the leap, and when I said, I think that there's a lot of uncaptured data, and they said, because it's a school and we're committed to this, we're gonna take the leap. And Engineer Hernandez sent me that email at midnight that night. So he was working at midnight. He sent it to me, and the next day at 3 o'clock, there was a crash at the intersection.
Thank you
So
very much,
we
Madam
know-
Clerk.
Deputy Mayor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Birmingham,
Yes.
Counselor D'Amato,
Oh, yes.
Counselor Harrison,
Yes, this is
Counsel-
an intersection that really needs that stop sign. I travel there frequently, and it's needed it for a long time, as Councilor D'Amato said.
Counselor Toller,
Yes, I want to copy and paste what Councilor D'Amato and Councilor Harrison said. It does, the stop sign is needed. Someone who went to Mount Hebron. Some of you know it as Buzz Aldrin.
Counselor Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Baskerville.
Yes.
Okay, then. Item D, an ordinance to amend Section 347 of Article 26, Inclusionary Zoning Ordinance of the Zoning Code of Township of Montclair. This is an ordinance that stems from the fourth round housing element and fair share plan that the planning board adopted that was endorsed by the council. It includes some of the recommendations to facilitate affordable housing in the town, and I so move.
Second. Planner Tally. Thank you very much, and thank you for what we have here. I think that it's very important that the community understands what this is. So if you would please give a summary so that people will understand what this says before we vote on that.
Sure. So this is the first tranche of changes to our affordable housing ordinances coming out of not only our fourth round housing plan, but pending changes at the state level to the uniform housing affordability controls, which they've been working on for the past year, and they're supposed to be adopted in December, and I didn't want to start making those changes until they were adopted at the state level. So today, what we did is we eliminated the minimum density for a project to which our inclusionary zoning ordinance applies. So by getting rid of the minimum 8 units per acre, any single-family housing project that generates at least 5 units our inclusionary zoning ordinance would apply, and they'd have to provide one affordable unit if it's 5 units. We also made a change to increase the set-aside for affordable units for projects that required a use variance. And the idea is when you're requesting a use variance, it's not consistent with the zone. They're asking for a permission from the Board of Adjustment for a use that's not permitted. In exchange, we've increased the affordable housing set-aside from 1 in 5 units to 1 in 4 units. Again, hoping to increase the production of the supply of affordable housing. We also added another requirement that 15% of the units that are created are set aside for persons with special needs. That would be a form of supportive housing that would come with case management services. That's one of the definitions of supportive housing. We've changed the term of the affordability controls. These new terms, which is 40 years for rental units, by term I mean the term of the deed restriction. So it's 40 years for rental units and 30 years for sales units. These are state requirements. So we're putting this in our ordinance to meet the current state requirements. We made an adjustment to the cash in lieu payment for when projects either cannot build an affordable unit for some reason, and we almost always require them to build the unit on site. There's been one occasion where they were allowed to build it off site, and what they can do is they can pay into this into our housing trust fund, and we increased the value of that in terms of the baseline subsidy to $250,000 and added an annual increase so that it would be recalculated every year to match what the market is to build those units. So that's essentially, those are the changes that I proposed here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, Councilor Toller?
Yep, thank you, Janice. My question is, this new ordinance, this is only going to apply to new development. It doesn't apply to anything that has a application on file currently, is that correct? Or
If
will
it's-
it apply?
Right. If it's already been approved,
Right,
it
then-
doesn't apply.
Okay.
However, if the deed restrictions have not been in place, because we have some projects where they've been constructed, but the deed restrictions have not been recorded, I believe they have to meet the new requirements.
Okay, can we verify that? Not now, but. you
Because
said-
that's a state law,
Okay.
not a local. I guess the answer, it depends. Okay, so if it's a state law, then the new state law requirements would apply.
I mean, because this is great, but I don't know how much more future development we're going to have to be able to take advantage of this. This really should have been put in place years ago.
This would apply to everything
you know,
in
but
Lackawanna
that's great.
Plaza.
Good, that's wonderful. That's great to hear.
So there's 60 units there if they build the 300, that's in the
Okay,
plan.
very good, thank you.
Planner Tally, I have a question on, so regarding the 15% of affordable units that goes for special needs, I'm certainly in favor of affordable housing for special needs, but is that, of the 25% that is required, is that saying that 15% of the 25% must be used for people that have special needs?
Right, so it's 15% of the affordable units that are created. So if you only have one affordable unit in your project, that's not going to kick in. But if you have a certain number, and I think that it's 7 or 8, I might have put it in my memo, when you reach a certain number, then one of those units is going to have to be set aside and marketed for people with special needs. And we've talked with people with the Unhoused Coalition and with the other organizations that there is a list that's maintained. I believe it's called the C of C list. It's the continuum of care list where we would draw from to occupy those units.
Councilor Birmingham.
Just to follow on, you mentioned case management goes with that.
Yes.
How is that funded?
That would have to be part of the package that a developer would put together. Usually what they would do is they would identify a nonprofit organization that would sponsor that unit and provide the case management services.
Okay, and then my next question is, this elimination of the minimum density threshold of 8 units per acre.
Right.
Would you recommend that we replace it with a different threshold or just remove it entirely?
Remove it entirely. Because there were projects, some single-family residential projects that were fully exempt from this, even if there were 7 or 8 units, because the density was below that 8 dwelling units per acre minimum. So just to be fair, the recommendation was to drop the minimum density, so any project that creates a certain number of units would have to provide for affordable housing. And you could build a small single-family house that would be appropriate for a lower moderate income household. So it's not limited to the type of housing. You can incorporate it into different types of housing development.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Councilor Williams and Councilor D'Amato?
I'm confused by your last comment. You're saying you can build a single-family home that would, say that again?
Absolutely. You can build a single-family home that serves as a low-income or a moderate-income household. The developer would have to subsidize it, but it would be a small single-family home.
Oh, okay.
Would not be
No, I misunderstood what you said.
Okay. It would be one in at least, 5 houses, one would have to be affordable.
Councilor D'Amato?
Is there any way that this, speaking of subsidy, that you can in any way model the impact that this has on the pool of rateables in the township? So, we have to now look at all the legislation we pass about, the impact, the economic cost of it. And there is some cost to this because it will lower tax revenues.
It will lower tax revenues. I don't think it's going to create that many affordable units, so I think the cost will be subsumed, particularly if it's part of an inclusionary development. When these are built, the developers are subsidizing the cost, and they build it into their pro formas. So it's actually baked in and built into the cost analysis to create these units. These units do pay taxes. They're not tax-free. They just pay less taxes because they're deed restricted. So, I mean, I think it's not going to create a huge number of units, because honestly, you're right. We don't have that much more development anticipated. But I think the costs are not significant. If it's inclusionary development, it's borne by the developers, and they do pay taxes.
But there's still a huge gap between a market rate unit could be taxed $10,000 a year versus what? I mean, how do we model it?
They're stratified. Some of these are moderate income, so they're at 80% of median income, or 60%, or at 50%. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. When these projects are put together, they have to offer, if it's a sales unit, at different price points for low-income and moderate-income households. I think the average is about 55%.
But it costs the township itself. We should just be clear.
Well,
Something.
but I don't agree.
Counselor Harrison?
Yes, it will have less tax revenues, but from the overall development, there will still be a significant increase in the tax ratables to the town. And the choice is, yes, we could have everyone in town live in $1 million+ house, and there would be great ratables, but this would not be a town I would want to live in. If I wanted to do that, I'd move to Alpine and be happy with a bunch of rich neighbors, but that's not the town I want to live in.
Right.
You know, it's going to be, these developments are going to significantly increase. You're talking about at least 5 units, and the ratables to town is going to be more than what's there now. And you have the other reality of the state is requiring that 20% of the units be affordable, period. And in order for the township's fair share plan to be approved, we have to provide for that. So it's not like we have an alternative, but in terms of the Montclair that I have chosen to live in for 70 years, even though I had to commute 4 hours a day for 20+ years to do that, it's important to continue to provide affordable units in town that will be paying taxes, not as much as $1 million house, but still paying taxes.
Mayor.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Deputy?
So I mean, this is just one tool in the toolbox, right? Like, this is to create affordable.
We are working
units.
on many other
No,
zoning initiatives,
yeah.
so this is one tool, yes.
I just wanted to point that out because I don't want people to get confused when you said, like, this probably won't result in a lot of affordable units. Like, this is not the only thing that we are,
Right.
using to do that. And I guess, I mean, as part of the reason for the getting rid of the minimum density, or the minimum residential density, is to avoid the need for, like, variances.
No, it really has nothing to do with variances.
Okay.
It's to increase the number of opportunities for development to create affordable housing. There's no reason why an 8 or 6 unit subdivision could not include an affordable unit and should be exempt from it. So that was the idea.
And when we say dwelling units, because the language used here is dwelling unit, we're not talking about bedrooms, right? We're talking about individual apartments.
A dwelling unit is defined, I believe, in the municipal land use law. It's a unit for one household, kitchen, kitchen, bath, any number of bedrooms.
Okay. And I just have one last question, and that has to do with the supportive housing, which, I think is really important. So maybe it's just the language or the way it's, I might be a little bit confused, but the 15% of affordable units shall be permanent supportive housing. And when I look at the definition of supportive housing, I mean, it's pretty clear that it's meant to be like somebody's permanent living situation, but it also says that in the definition, combined with flexible support services tailored to the individual's needs. So on page 3, it says that the 15% of the new affordable units have to be permanent supportive housing. Does that mean also that, that there has to be flexible support, like whoever's living there? Do we have any sort of window into whether or not the flexible support services are
I think in my conversations with my many hours of training over the past couple months with DCA, we've talked about supportive housing and emphasized the importance that when you require it, like it includes the services. So the whole idea is, and I hope I was trying to make it clear in the language here, and maybe we can tighten it up. But the idea is, you're going to set aside those units for supportive housing, and the developer is going to identify a nonprofit organization who'll fulfill that requirement and include the services that they need. So that's going to be part and parcel with those units, and it's basically they'll have it's not going to take place at the housing unit itself, but they will provide a mechanism by which those services are provided, because not everybody needs in-home services.
Okay.
Anyone else? Thank you, Planner.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Deputy Mayor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Birmingham,
Yes.
Counselor D'Amato,
Yes.
Counselor Harrison,
Yes.
Counselor Toller,
Yes.
Counselor Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Baskerville.
Yes, thank you. And now we're going to move to the consent agenda. Manager Marks? Yes. Number 6 was the only one that we were
Oh,
going
yeah,
to pull from there,
did you go
right?
through that? We didn't go through that already, did you?
No, we're
Tony
just
Fan
starting.
is here to answer any questions, if you have any questions from the dais, or if you want to. Yes. I don't know if you want to discuss it or pull it, so. Should we start with item one?
Yes,
or?
thank you. Would you start at 1?
Okay. So item 1 is a resolution authorizing the Township of Montclair to sign a memorandum of agreement with the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, DCA, to participate in the NJ Homes Launchpad program. Item 3 is a resolution awarding contract for the Upper Mountain Avenue roadway improvements NJDOT funded project, which was bid number 25-25. Item number 4 is a resolution authorizing awarding a non-fair and open contract to Spatial Data Logic SDL for the software license agreement renewal for the 3 years for the proprietary software license agreement pursuant to NJSA 48:11-5-1DD.
Council Williams?
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what this was for. So just give us.
I could provide a little bit of
sure.
background. So there are a limited number of platforms for permit management. So this platform is multidisciplinary. It's usually shared among various departments, code enforcement, building department specifically. It also, there are modules for municipal clerk, municipal engineer, planning and zoning applications, whereby multiple departments enter data for permitting. So let's say a resident comes in, they want to build a house. The resident, either through the online platform or through a desktop, either on like a mobile platform through your phone or through a desktop, could fill out an application to build a home. It can be managed so we have a different program or platform for planning and zoning. So specifically for Spatial Data Logic, it allows a property owner to seek planning board, zoning board approvals for their particular project. It then gets passed along, assuming it's approved by the planning board or zoning board. It then gets passed along to the construction department. So it's a seamless platform. So the building department can see that it was previously approved by approval agencies or approving entities, and then could issue building permits based upon that. There are also platforms for the municipal engineer to be able to, if there's any stormwater permits involved. The more municipal departments that participate in it, the more people, the more seats that are actually licensed and adding data, it becomes more robust. And the more people who are using it, the stronger and more kind of a robust a platform it becomes. I don't know if I'm adequately providing
No, thank you.
background information on it.
Councilor
It
Tola?
replaces,
Oops,
it
I'm
replaces
sorry.
paper applications. And you're able to see from a one particular department, you're able to see what other departments are doing with regard to that one particular property.
Should have
I'm
led
sorry.
with the replaces paper application.
It replaces paper.
There you go.
So that's great. So everybody will have eyes on the same one application, technically.
Everybody who's participating, the
Right, that has to.
departments, if a particular department is not, doesn't have a seat, they may not see that, so.
Correct. So, and then the other thing is the certification of funds form. We have to fix that since we have a new hire.
We did have a conversation. So Dee Bartlett is here. I was going to introduce her towards the end of the
I know
meeting.
she's here, but we're still,
We had that conversation this
Okay.
afternoon.
thank you.
Okay.
Oh, so. Thank you. Thank you. Item 5 is a resolution authorizing a change order to the contract with SHI International Corporation for Microsoft Office 365 Support Service Plan to increase the contract by $5,149.31. Item number 6 is a resolution authorizing expenditure to purchase computer equipment for Township PC refresh project.
Number 6? Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. So item 6 was
Number
was
7,
pulled.
please.
Item 7 is a resolution authorizing award of a contract to CDW Government LLC under ESC&J Cooperative Contract for the Cisco Security Protection Enterprise Agreement for the Township for a period of 3 years. And item 8 is a resolution authorizing termination of participation in the New Jersey State Health Benefits Program.
Yes, I would like to.
Counselor Williams?
I think one or more of the constituents had questions about this item on the agenda. I thought it would be worthwhile to spend a couple of moments discussing this and why we're doing this, so.
And I could speak to that at the appropriate time. I mean, now or after?
Now?
Now? Okay, sure. So on July 8th, 2025, a handout, it's a press release from New Jersey Treasury, New Jersey Department of the Treasury, which I'll pass along. So on July 9th, 2025, the New Jersey Department of the Treasury came out with the premium information for the New Jersey State Health Benefits Plan for the 2026 plan year, basically January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. There are different parts of the program covering medical and prescription benefits for state employees and for local government employees and school board employees. So for the local government employee portion, the premiums for participating in the New Jersey State Health Benefits Plan were going up by 36.5%. The Township of Montclair currently in 2025 year budget spends approximately $10 million on employee health benefits. So the 36.5% increase in that one single line item for the Township of Montclair is almost a $4 million increase. So our tax levy is approximately $62 million. So that one increase in that one line item for 2026 would translate into a 6.39% increase in taxes on our $62 million tax levy. That is just not financially sustainable. So PERMA, which is an agency or entity involved with actuarial and risk management services for municipalities, counties, school boards in the state of New Jersey in analyzing the New Jersey State Health Benefits Plan, is projecting that this is not just a one-and-done deal with increases for the New Jersey State Health Benefits Plan. They are projecting increases of 37% for the 2027 plan year, 50% increases in the State Health Benefits Plan for the 2028 plan year, and 60% increases in the 2029 a plan year. Actuaries across the state are describing the state health benefits plan as being in a death, quote-unquote, death spiral. So many entities, local governments, municipalities who can get out of the state health benefits plan are getting out, while they can. So our health insurance, or our insurance broker is IMAC. They went to market, they solicited quotes for employee health benefits, for medical and prescription health benefits for our municipal employees and the retirees who are eligible for those benefits. They found many insurance carriers actually declined based on past performance or the loss ratios. They found they got a quote from Aetna for a fully insured plan for our municipal employees that is equal to or better than the state health benefits plan. There was a question about savings. The savings for between the 2025 plan year and the 2026 plan year are modest. It's between $300,000 and $400,000 in savings. The point of this exercise is not so much saving the $300,000 or $400,000 for 2026, but avoiding those 50-60% increases in the future, the outplanning years, the 2027, 2028, 2029. So we had a meeting this afternoon with all of the there are 7 bargaining units. We unveiled it to the bargaining units. We went over questions. We are making ourselves available for any transition. In order to leave the state health benefits plan, the governing body of every municipality that's entertaining it, leaving the state health benefits plan, has to pass a resolution by November 1st of the year in order to leave for January 1st of the coming year. So this was discussed in the Finance Committee several times with our insurance broker. We hired an independent actuary to actually fact check what the insurance broker, he was in agreement about the savings and about the justification for leaving the state health benefits plan. It's the recommendation of our insurance broker, myself, to go to the Aetna fully insured plan, which will be equal to or better. As far as the one resident said concerning, we have to have less rich plans. Health benefits are part of the labor contracts. It's a negotiable item. We can't just take away, health benefits from any of the bargaining units. We will be in a position to bargain for reduction in benefits, but as everybody knows, through a bargaining process, you have to have 2 agreeable parties. So, the bargaining units themselves, the municipal labor unions, will have to be agreeable. And they have skin in the game because each municipal employee pays for a portion of their health benefits through what's called Chapter 78 contributions. So every municipal employee has skin in the game in terms of making contributions towards their own employee health benefits. Those contributions on average are about 10% of their salaries. Does anybody have any questions? I also have, I have presentations which I'd like to pass out that were prepared by IMAC, our health insurance broker. It goes over everything that I just said in much greater detail. I don't want to bore you with it, but I am available. IMAC is available. Alicia Dawkins, who was here this evening, is available to speak to any questions that anybody may have. Again, equal to or better. The health benefits themselves are negotiable, so we can't arbitrarily, unilaterally change any of the health benefits. What is not negotiable is the network that we're in. So, leaving the state health benefits plan, which is Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield, going to a more cost-effective plan, whether it's, in this case, Aetna, but if it were, say, Cigna or United Healthcare or any of the other networks, that's a non-negotiable item. That's not something that is subject to negotiation.
Yes, Councilor Birmingham.
Thank you, Manager Marks. I think you did a really nice job explaining. I just want to sort of echo what you said in terms of just the really dramatic increase. So I think in the past 5 years, we've seen a 115% increase in the local government share of premiums. And just to acknowledge, this is obviously, you know, something that we as taxpayers have to deal with, but it also, as Manager Marks said, it really does affect the employees as well, too, because they are putting out more money as well. So I will say that really last year, one of the very first things we did when we joined, you know, this council is we looked for alternatives to this, to the state health benefit plan, because we don't see it as a sustainable future plan for the town. Last year, we had no options, just so we're clear. Like, this is not something that we were sitting on. This is something that we were looking, can we join HIFs? Can we join a fully, you know, is there someone who will insure us? We had no options last year. This year, we do have an option. As you alluded to, we are not expecting a lot of quote-unquote savings, at least initially. We're really talking about cost avoidance and really trying to find something that will be more sustainable in the years to come. So again, I just want everyone to be aware, this is something that we will be really trying our best to really look at ways we can potentially cost avoid going forward, and just acknowledging that this is a really difficult situation for everyone. Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay.
And item number 9 is the bills list.
Councilor Toller.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Scantlebury just cleared up one question I had, which was on page 2, geese chasers. Apparently, we have dogs that chase the geese away. That's pretty interesting. On page 4, the vendor number is 101022. It's Sunny Electric for Watchung School Composter. Is that program? I thought that was paid through a grant, but maybe I'm wrong, where there were 2 schools designated to do composting. Is that the same thing?
That is a program, from my understanding and recollection, I don't see her, that is a program that Lisa Johnson was working on, so that is a grant-funded endeavor.
Okay.
So even though it's grant-funded, we still pay for it in order to seek reimbursement.
Okay, then the last question I have is on page 6. The vendor number is 99218. It says transportation of soil for $18,000. I'm just... Shark Transportation, vendor number 99218. Okay. Okay. You pretty sure? Okay. Those are all the questions that I have. And I'm still waiting on the Angels landscaping bills so I can perhaps add them on to the next.
I think,
I don't recall getting them.
Director
Maybe-
Ashley, was that something that was, oh, okay, Ms. Tassi.
That was the, Council Fuller, I believe I did send the backup to you, and that was concerning vacant properties.
No, I was looking for Angels landscaping for the snow plowing.
But the,
Excuse me, please, Director. Tally, can you come? Tassie, I'm sorry, Tassie. My apologies.
That bill was dated September, and that was the monthly maintenance. It was the monthly maintenance on the abandoned properties. It wasn't for snow removal.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So they are the same. We use the same vendor for snow removal as we do use to upkeep monthly the 4 or 5 abandoned properties. So we haven't incurred any snow removal charges as yet, and what I gave you was for those properties.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
And if I can add that we do make the payments, but we lien back the property. Okay, so we don't lose any money on that.
I just had a
Councilor
question
Williams?
about, thank you, Madam Mayor. I just had a question about the Cameron Animal Hospital payments. I was just curious what those were about.
Those are invoices from 2025. The contract wasn't signed for Cameron Animal Hospital till about 5 weeks ago. Last December 17th, the governing body approved the resolution to contract for Cameron, effective 1/1/25 through 12/31/25. There was no signed contract, so the bills weren't paid. So I got a contract signed, like I said, maybe about 3 weeks ago. And what you're seeing here are 2025 bill invoices that hadn't been paid to date.
Anyone else? Yeah, okay. So we took number 6 out, and then we're going to do a roll call on the consent. Madam Clerk?
May I have a movement and a second, Mayor?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Anderson?
Yes.
Counselor Birmingham?
Yes.
Counselor D'Amato?
Yes.
Counselor Harrison?
Yes.
Counselor Toller?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Baskerville?
Yes. Thank you. And so, at this point in time, I'm going to make a motion that we...
Before we do that, I know we don't have an order for this, but going off of my being a quiet person, for the past 3 meetings, multiple residents have come up on the Immigrant Trust Act, and I would like to see that on the agenda for the next meeting. I think this is an act that is very relevant to Montclair. It's putting in legislation what has been in effect from the State Attorney General for several years now, and I think there have been whisperings of concerns about retaliation from the bully in Washington, but one, I don't think the way to deal with bullies is to let them bully you, and two, given that Essex County has adopted the resolution, given that, and the commissioner sponsoring it lives in Montclair and is the chair of the Montclair Democratic Party, and given that the sponsor in the legislature also lives in Montclair, I don't know that there's some magic that if they're going to do something that they're suddenly going to not do anything to Montclair. I don't think it's likely, but I think it's an important statement for the town to make, and I would urge that it be on the agenda for the next meeting.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Councilor Harrison, and when it was discussed a few weeks ago, it did not seem as though there was enough support from the entire group, but I am 100% with you, and so we can do that. In fact, if you want to pass a resolution, and I can second it, and that can get on. That's how we get things on the agenda. I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn and go into executive session because we must talk about the attorney position that we did not have a chance to discuss earlier, and it seems as though that's a very important thing that we need to take care of, and I'd like to be able to do that this evening, have those discussions.
Before we adjourn, though, since Councilor Harrison had a chance to say, can we?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I may, I did want to say this after the public comment. I'm glad to hear Councilor Harrison's thoughts, and I did want to just thank everybody who came today to speak out in the last meeting. We did have the item on the Human Services and Public Safety Committee agenda. Unfortunately, we did not get to that, but we did, I did happen to have conversations with the mayor and Councilor Birmingham, who were both on that committee, and several others. I'm glad to hear that Councilor Harrison is expressing support. And, basically, this came to us last month, and I personally feel that it's important it's an important show of support to the many, people in our town who, and not just residents, but people who work in our town, who, whose families have mixed immigration statuses. So, anyway, I'm sorry, but I wanted to just let everybody know that we are going to have this on the agenda. There were concerns that other councilors had. We do have $2.4 million of federal funding, but I think that if this can help show the legislature that, as Councilor Harrison said, that our town is in support, that it is important. Not just to pass a resolution, but I think it's also very important, not just to pass a resolution, but the thing that's going to make people feel really safe is if residents and our elected officials learn rights of immigrants and know how to protect them.
Did you
And
want to say something too?
excuse me, I'm not finished.
No,
So
not yet. I can wait.
there is a
Really are.
and try to do go to the
We
website.
promised that we were going to talk.
Do go to our website, which does have the information that we included for residents, for workers who are immigrants, and attend some trainings. There's a training on the 26th in Fort Lee that will teach you how to be an upstander and to respond to incidents where immigrants are being harassed. And so, yeah, that's what I would encourage.
Unbelievable. Yes. A motion to adjourn to the,
Can I say one thing? Because this is time sensitive.
so is the attorney, but yes.
And we will talk about the attorney, but I just want to encourage everyone who may be eligible for the New Jersey property tax relief programs, where there is a deadline of October 31st, to please check for your eligibility and fill out a application if you are eligible, because these are very valuable programs. Seniors, you can, if you're under $500,000 income, you will get $6,500 back from the state of New Jersey. So please, I just want to take a moment to encourage everybody to check their eligibility and fill out an
Might as
application.
well. And then we'll
Thank
talk
you.
about this next week.
Okay, no, thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Council Birmingham. Mr. Marks, is it okay if you
That's
can
why we don't
please
have an attorney.
encourage the tax department? Because I had 2 residents today that needed help with their applications and had some questions. They said that the tax office was very helpful, so if you could just ensure that they're still being helpful, that the doors are open, they can answer some questions for residents to complete those applications, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
And
Like
Mayor,
to make a motion that we go into
can I
executive
say one thing?
session?
I have a ward meeting tomorrow night, so if anybody didn't get a chance to tell me, give me a piece of their mind tonight, you can come tomorrow to the Bellevue, beautiful Bellevue Branch Library, and then after that, you can leave early at 7:30 and go to the DOE candidate forum across the
I'd like to
street.
make a motion that we go into executive session. I don't care. I mean, if we don't, we just don't talk about the attorney. If you guys don't want to do that, we can do that the next week. It's been 4 meetings anyway, so it was.
Yes.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you to the public. We're going to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of discussing a township attorney.
I know. Thank you.
Bless you.
I'd like to make a motion to come back into the regular session,
Second.
exit the executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? A motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
James. Aye.
Opposed? Good evening.